Hey there, Dr. Albert Wong here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. Today we're going to talk about trauma and some of the classic trauma responses that people might have. Trauma is a big word, a scary word, but if we understand the mechanisms of it and the characteristic symptoms that might manifest as a result of trauma, it can help us feel less overwhelmed by it, more like we have an orientation in the world. We know which way is up. We know why things are happening to us, even if the things are still uncomfortable. Knowing and understanding that it has a place, it has a name, it has a reason, and follows certain organized patterns, that's actually quite helpful. Once you know where you are on the map, it's easier to find your way out. You can understand your own nervous system patterns and reactions. It can help guide your healing. So, I want you to think about if you notice any of the symptoms of what we call hyperarousal. Classically, this is fight or flight, where your sympathetic nervous system is activated. If you feel anxious, if you feel terrified, if you feel fearful, if you get panic attacks, if you feel impulsive, if you have nightmares or flashbacks, if you feel persistently irritable or have bouts of rage, you might be in hyperarousal. Hyperarousal is that feeling of always being on edge, never being at ease, needing to run away, or needing to strike back to protect yourself because you're under threat. It's an attempt to find safety by protecting yourself by whatever means possible, running away. That's what anxiety is. You're trying to scan and run, even if you can't. And if you have a hard time concentrating or focusing, it could be as a result of being in hyperarousal. So much of your consciousness is dedicated to scanning for threat, navigating threat, managing threat. You really can't focus on anything else. It's like your inner weather, the waters of your inner world are constantly whipped up into a frenzy. You don't know how to feel safe or soothed. You're constantly looking for threat, scanning for threat, and trying to make yourself safe. That's hyperarousal. In this state of being, adrenaline spikes, muscles tense. It's hard to get rest. So this is hyperarousal, one of the classic trauma responses. Now, it's difficult to stay in hyperarousal for too long. It's overwhelming, and our body decides, hey, this is too much. I can't hang out here. So your body will at some point decide, okay, I'm out of here, and Elvis leaves the building. We go into hypoarousal. So in hypoarousal, people frequently feel fatigue, depressed, zoned out, dissociated, numb, exhausted, like they sometimes want to just go to sleep. This is a place of just feeling out of sorts and sometimes dizzy. People who have brain fog, where they can't think clearly. Maybe they're not motivated anymore. They've lost their joie de vivre. They no longer want or feel compelled to do anything in the world. These are signs and symptoms of hypoarousal. Hypoarousal, fancy word, basically means life has been too overwhelming, and I call uncle. I give up. It's too much, and I know that I cannot succeed. I collapse. I go numb. So hyperarousal is frequently called fight or flight. That's sympathetic arousal. Hypoarousal is frequently called flop or drop. It's like, if I can't fight and I can't flee, I might as well just give up, because whatever's coming for me is going to get me. And it's best if I vacate my own being. Yeah. It's almost like leaving yourself before you get destroyed. So whether you identify yourself as either in the camp of hyperarousal or hypoarousal, one thing I really want you to remember is that these symptoms don't originate as weaknesses in you. These are evolutionarily brilliant adaptations to managing overwhelming circumstance. It's actually really amazing that your body can let itself go numb to protect itself against unavoidable harm. What a brilliant evolutionary device of self-protection. If the harm is unescapable and there's nothing that can be done, going numb, going into hypoarousal, is a brilliant strategy of self-preservation. Similarly, if there is a possibility of combating the threat or escaping the threat, going into fight or flight, sympathetic, is brilliant. It's really helpful to be able to scan for threat, to notice where the danger is, to let yourself be a little bit jittery because you're scanning, right? To be afraid, to have your heart rate go up, to have your adrenaline pumping through you, getting ready to fight or flee. Those are brilliant things that the body has learned to do over eons of evolution. And it comes in support of us, not against us. So recognizing that these symptoms, which sometimes feel unpleasant perhaps, or challenging, may actually be trying to help save us in some way. That perspective helps us make friends with those feelings, helps us be more kind to our body and our own symptomatic responses, seeing the protective wisdom in each of these efforts. So I want you to notice which category you're in: hyperarousal, hypoarousal. Some people are more mixed. And comment in the comment section below. Are you more easily agitated into fight or flight, or do you go into a more numbed out, depressive hypoarousal state? Hyperarousal is more associated with anxiety, and hypoarousal is more associated with depression. So yeah, which one are you? Comment in the comment section below. And also maybe just reflect internally. Reflect internally. When might these symptoms have first arisen for you? What happened, what arose, and what was happening for you? Okay. Some things you should probably keep internal and private. Some things are not ready to be spoken or shared. So you might just reflect on that in your own space and time. All right. Well, thanks for listening, and take good care. Until the next video, see you around the universe.